Let's say you had an idea, you drew it on paper, and you wanted to get it cut out, whether it be metal, ABS, wood, whatever the case may be. Either yourself with a grinder, cut-off tool, or a Sawzall, or locally, you can get a laser cut or plasma cut, or use an online service, Send Cut Send or Xometry. You know you got to start somewhere, and you know you got to start with learning CAD. So what I wanted to go over is some options that are good for beginners to get into CAD. So first we'll dive into just SendCutSend's website, and you'll see they have a good starting place, which they suggest software programs to use. Fusion 360, Illustrator, Inkscape, QCAD, SolidWorks. Now I'm going to remove Fusion 360 and SolidWorks because they are not beginner and they are pretty expensive, but I'm also going to add in SketchUp because I think it's a valuable tool. First we'll take a look at Illustrator. Illustrator is made by Adobe and the cost is between $21 and $36 a month. So it's relatively affordable. So when we get in here, you're going to go to custom for this piece that I have drawn out. You can enter in the width and the height so we get the sheet close to what we're going to be working with. The width for me is less than 10 and it's less than 65, so we're going to set it to that. And we're going to go to the line tool. If you hold on this little radius, you can have your different selections, and you can go to the line segment tool and you can start up here. What's nice about this is it will give you accurate lines. So we're going to, when we click there on the left button on the mouse, we're going to enter in our dimension and we're going to go 36 inches down. And here's your down arrow and it's 270 degrees. So there you go. Now you go over here to the selection tool and you select outside the line and it stays there. You're going to go back to the line. You're going to go to the bottom here where it says anchor and you're going to go to the right. So you got to click the angle, which is a little annoying, but it's okay. Just do 0. And we're going to do 2 inches. Go to the select tool outside, make the line stay, go back to the line. Go back to the anchor and we're going to go down on this one, 270. And it's 24 inches. Click OK. Alright, great. Now what we're going to do is do a radius. So we go to the arc tool and we're going to go outside of this because, you know, on the arc tool, in my opinion, I should click here on the anchor and here on the anchor, and then I can drag out how far out it goes and I'll be done. But it's not that easy here as far as I know. I am just showing you as a beginner as well. So we're going to go outside this line area. We're going to click on it and it's going to give you this giant thing. What we're going to do is we click the selection tool and it made it into this box. We're going to zoom out. And what we're going to do is if you click down here, you'll see that little symbol on the bottom right of the box. We're going to rotate it until we get this pink line. That means it's straight up and down. Then what we're going to do is we can move the line over to our piece. Now obviously it's pretty big, so we're going to shrink it. And this part you just have to play with it. Most important part of CAD anyways is making sure that it's closed section. So what happens is this is too far of a bulge. So what I'm going to do is straighten it up and move the whole thing in to where it touches the bottom and the top. Then I'm going to go to, if I like this bulge, which I don't even know what it is, and there's no measuring tape for me to measure, so it's kind of a guessing game, but you can play around with it. I'm going to take the eraser tool, and I'm going to erase that, and erase this. And now what we have is our part. It's not exact, and I don't know this measurement. That's just the way it is for now. I could do some more research and get it better, but I'm just trying to show you as a beginner. So now let's go to the next one, Inkscape. And by far, this is the most frustrating program. Now, first thing you're going to want to do if you're in the US or use inches is to go and change this to inches instead of millimeters. So you're going to go down to Document Properties, change this to inches, and then this to inches. And now we're at inches. You can exit that. So this is the frustrating part for me. An intuitive program, especially two-dimensional, you should be able to click here, and be done. But that is not the case. Now, if you look at the very bottom of the screen, it says enter or shift enter to finish path. So I'm going to press enter. And you'd think that the line is there, but guess what? It's not. It's gone. All I did was select outside of it. You would hope the line would stay. It's not. I can't get the line to stay, to be honest with you. And, in my drawing, I can literally go down. I can hold control, which makes it like on a 90-degree or a 45 in different increments, which is really actually pretty nice. If you go down below, you can see the distance that I'm traveling. And if I wanted to get my 36-inch piece, let's say this was 36-inch, I let go of control, I click, it's straight, it's 36. I can go over, let's say this is 2 inches, I click, I can go down my 24 inches, let's say this is 24. Great, right? And then I'm done. So it says enter, shift, enter to finish path. So I'm going to press enter and it goes away. So I'm not going to go into the details of why this is working, why it's not. I have done my research on Google. I have not gotten definitive answers. I know there's a workaround, and just so you know, this Inkscape is an open source program, so it's completely free. So, and I'm not dogging it. I mean, there's so many options in this program. I just haven't spent the time to learn it. And as a beginner, I don't think it's going to be that easy to get into it. So let's move on to the next one, which is QCAD. Now, QCAD is also an open source program, and it's totally free, which I really like. And I believe my opinion is the graphic user interface, the GUI, is way better and way better for beginners. So what we're going to do is, this is your starting point down here. We're going to do a little zooming in a little bit. Move this more towards the center of our screen. We'll go to the line. 2 points. If you just hold there for a minute, it'll just tell you. We're going to go from 1 point, and what we need is 36 inches. And if you see that box automatically went blue, so this is going to show you 36 inches, and then if you can get it straight, right there, that's 36 inches. Now the next one's going to be 2 inches, so we're just going to do 2 inches, and it's 2 inches. You can zoom in if you need, click it, and that's 2 inches. So we're going to go further down, and the next measurement is 24 inches. Make sure that blue box is blue, and that is 24 inches. You're going to let go, and then once you're done with the line, you can just press exit. Now this one is a little skew, but this is just for purposes of learning this in the slightest way. Once you've completed the lines, now you're going to want to do the radius. So we're going to go back out to the main menu. And you're going to see the arc tools. And you're going to go from 2 points and a radius. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go here. And this was the 60-degree radius. And if you look here, it's about 10 inches from 0. So we want it want it more like 5 inches. So what we can do is we can Control Z to go back, and we can try 90. That's more like it. So see how easy that was? You just go from 2 points, you type in the radius. You can kind of play around with the radius. You can go to the cursor over here and find out kind of where you're at. This looks about 5 to 6 inches, which is exactly what we want. There's no measuring tape on this program either, as far as I know. So you can't just go ahead and do a measure. Anyways, there you go. There's QCAD. I really do like QCAD. It's way easier and more intuitive. Just makes more sense. Let's go to the next one, which is not here. It's actually SketchUp. And SketchUp is a 3D modeling program. There's a free version. It's just about as capable as the paid version, but there's licensing issues and different things like that. It does range from 120 a year to, so what you want to do as a beginner is get this in 2 dimensionals, and I always just get rid of the lady. I don't need her there. And you're going to go to camera and parallel projection. You also go to camera and standard view to the top. This makes it a two-dimensional. So look how easy this program is. You want to make a line. You're going to go to the center point and you can go up. And at the bottom right, you'll see the length. All I have to do is type in 36 inches and then enter. Look, 36 inches. Now, if I didn't want this line, all I do is press escape. And now I can move through the other tools. Let's make the next line. The next line is 2 inches to the right, so all I do is I click this, go to the right a little bit, then press 2 inches. Bam, 2 inches. Zoom in. Then I'm going to go down, make sure it's straight. That indicates that it's straight. And I'm going to type in 24 inches. I'm going to get rid of the line because we're done with the line. And then look at this. Here's the arc tool. All I do is this little green dot shows you that it's the end point. You're going to go down to the other end point. And then look, the bulge. And look, I know I want to stay within 6 inches. And if you look here, just so you know, it's measuring from the middle of this. So it's actually, if this is 2 inches, it's measuring 1 inch in. So if I want from here to the very end to be 6 inches, I need to subtract an inch. So what I'm going to do is type in 4.75. Now to verify all this, I want it under 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is go to the end point, and half of this is 30 inches. So I'm going to do 30 inches. See that little mark there? This is the useful process of having a tape measure in the program. So I can go right onto that little tick, and I can go to the very end, and I'm at 5 3/4. So if I'm under 6 inches, that's where I want it to be. If I wanted to get closer to 6 inches, all I have to do is click here. I can delete it, go back to the arc tool, go to the endpoint, go to the other endpoint, bulge out. I did 4.75 earlier. I will do 4.85. If you wanted just to double check, you can go somewhere in the middle, and we're at 5 7/8. That's exactly what I want. Now another trick to SketchUp to make sure it's 1-to-1 scale, because if you save it like this, sometimes the scale is wrong because of the way you're looking at it on the screen. So you can go back to camera, zoom extents, and see how it comes right into frame. To get all these measuring things out of the way, you can just go to edit, delete guides, and then you can go to export 2D graphic, go to DXF, you can label it 1, 2, 3, 4, export. And then the way I verify my scaling to my drawing in the real world is I go to Send Cut Send, and I can just make an account and I upload to Send Cut Send. Here's our file. And they're going to give me a quote, but the thing I like about it is see the 60 inches, 5.881. That's exactly the inches or the dimensions in my SketchUp drawing. So that verifies that this thing is correct. And then you can get a quote. Now look, this thing's 60 inches long and they don't have anything available. There's literally, it's just too long for their platform. So, but I do use it just to verify that my scaling is correct, if that makes any sense. So that's it for this video. I hope this helped you guys. Let me know if you guys like this content or want any more of it. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.